Hey, what is up, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Evolve. How you guys doing on today? You know what, on today I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about Joe Budden and the Slaughterhouse team, because recently Joe was on yet another new podcast with some battle rappers, and he had a little bit to say. He talked a little bit about P Diddy, and also if he was coming back to Slaughterhouse, and he mentioned him just a little bit and kind of we get a little insight on how he felt about him. So I wanted to kind of gatherize the information for you all. As you all know, Eminem, he did have a song on his new album. It was called I Will. And in this new song, the only thing that was weird about it was he had Joel, he had himself, he had also Royce the 5'9", and he had Crooked. They were all the members of the Slaughterhouse team except Joe Budden. So a lot of people were interested in knowing how Joe may have felt about that. So in this podcast, it first started off with the interviewer just really getting right into it. She asked, okay, how is your relationship with the Slaughterhouse team, with the Slaughterhouse members on an individual level? Now you will see that Joe, he tried to be very broad in his answer, as if not to try to gatherize any smoke, or he tried to give a very political answer, but then she started to press him. No, talk about the individual and not as a whole. But here's that first clip.
Slaughterhouse, where's your relationship with them right now?
See, that's good for y'all. Y'all sat here and talked for 3 hours. Now y'all trying to squeeze in the good questions. That's good for y'all. Y'all don't miss some shit.
We don't plan none of this shit, Joe.
Because Matt wanted to talk about battle rap. We don't plan none of this shit. And I'm like, oh my God.
We don't plan it. We don't plan it.
Where do you stand
like good conversation.
with Slaughterhouse?
Those are my brothers and I love them.
Okay, you love them. So individually, what I would say, right? Where do you stand with each of them individually?
Individually, they're my brothers.
So
and I love
you speak to them on the regular?
No, I don't speak to your brothers all the time. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I got a brother.
Depends on the brother.
I was supposed to call my
younger
brother
brother
today.
Steven. I got a call. I ain't spoke to him in a little bit. Steven, I love you if you're listening. But,
My brother's name is Steven too.
Yeah, I don't know. Royce just did the podcast, so I spoke to him. I haven't spoken to Joel, but he just liked the picture a few days ago, and I liked one back, so I know me and him will fly.
In 2020, right?
Yeah, we all right. And the same with Crook, man. Those are my guys forever. Like, we just not making music because Joe is not making music. And I won't even throw that out the window. Like, in Joe's mind, like, there's a world where things can coexist, but not in that situation. And same thing I said about me and Clips, like.
Okay, so you see here he speaks, Royce was just on the podcast, so we're great, and Crooked, that's my guy, and and I believe that me and Joel is we're good because he just liked a picture of mine, and I liked the picture of him back. Well, gosh darn it, we're great. We shared and we exchanged likes, so everything is good. So now that we had got that established, here is the next clip where Joe, he talks a little bit more about the Slaughterhouse and, why ain't they making music and possibility of a reunion. Let's just take a listen.
Is not making music because Joe is not making music. And I won't even throw that out the window. Like, in Joe's mind, like, there's a world where things can coexist, but not in that situation. And same thing I said about me and Clips. Like, I'm not a worker anymore.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to work for something that didn't exist before I got here. And that's how I feel about wordsmiths. Like, if we can put this together, y'all can't monetize it until we do.
So there you have it. Now here, I don't know if you all are picking up on the body language and the voice tone, but you can see that this line of question is starting to, I guess, not so much offend or trigger may be too harsh of a word, but it's got Joe a little bit uneasy. In this next part, you can kind of start to see what I'm talking about, because Joe, he do speak that he would do something with Slaughterhouse and get back together, but there's one stipulation. If they want Joe back, there's one thing, because Joe is not doing anything with Slaughterhouse until you know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'm trying to give you all some time to think with the stipulation. But you know what? I'll just play the clip.
I'm not going to work for something that didn't exist before I got here. And that's how I feel about wordsmiths. Like, if we can put this together, y'all can't monetize it until we do.
Right.
And that's how I act. So, nah, I'm not putting nothing out with Slaughterhouse unless Slaughterhouse is away from Shady and we own our own shit.
Well, there you
Slaughterhouse,
have
where's
it.
your
As
relationship with
Joe said,
them?
hey,
That's good for
you
you.
know,
I sat here and
if they
talked for
want
3
me,
hours. Now you're
if
trying to
the
squeeze in
Slaughterhouse
the
want to do work and they
good
want
for
to
you.
get
Y'all-
back
we
arena,
don't-
they
we
get
don't-
away
We
with
don't play
it.
none of this shit,
That's
Joe.
the
Because
only
Bad Boy
That's
way.
good for you.
As long as the
play none of
link
And I'm
with
like,
it,
oh my
link
God.
with them,
Where you
hey,
We don't plan
I'm
it.
done. I'm
We don't
not
plan it.
dealing
Where do you,
with
where do
it.
you
I like
stand
this.
Joe
on
is a
this
little still caught up
brothers, I
in
love
his
them.
feelings. Now I know there's
You
going to
love
be
them.
several
So
of the Joe
individually, what I would
podcasters
say,
and Joe
right,
fans. They're going to
where do you
be in the
stand with each of them
comments, and then they're going to state, yeah, well, Joe just
Individually, they're my
didn't
brothers.
like
So you speak to
Eminem's
them on the
beats
regular?
and different
I don't speak to
things,
your
and
brother,
it has
brother.
nothing to do with them. And even
gotta-
Depends
Joe
on the
himself,
brother.
in
I was
this
supposed to call my
next
brother
clip I'm going to
today.
show you, he
Steven,
tried to
I
pass it
gotta call.
off
Steven,
to
a little
say
bit.
that
Steven, I love
it
you
has
for listening.
nothing to
My
do
brother's
with
name's Steven.
Eminem
Yeah, I
or
know,
whatnot, but
Royce just
Eminem
did the
is shady.
podcast.
You
I spoke to him.
must be.
I haven't spoken to
Eminem is
Joel,
shady.
but he just liked
Eminem
the picture
is
a few days ago, and I
Shady
like one back,
Records.
I know
So
Eminem is
you
fine.
might as well say what you're trying to say.
I know.
You
In
know,
2020,
you
right?
still
Ooh.
feel this
Yeah,
ill
and
will
same
or
with
still
Crook, man.
have a
Those are my
problem
guys
with
forever.
Eminem.
Like,
And
we just
many
not
are going to
making
say, no,
music
it's Shady
because
Records. No,
Joe is
it's
not
Eminem.
making
Let's
music.
be
And I won't even
grown
throw that out
people.
the
Let's be
window.
big
Like,
boys. And let's just
in
be
Joe's
blunt.
mind, like,
But
there's a world where
Joe is still
things
going to
can
give us a more of a
coexist, but
political answer,
not in
even
that
when talking
situation.
about
Same thing I said
Eminem.
about
Let's play
being
this
Crooks,
next
but
clip.
Nah, I'm not putting nothing out with Slaughterhouse unless Slaughterhouse is away from Shady and we own our own shit.
What about M? How's that?
That has nothing to do with me. Don't ask me about him. That has zero to do with what I just said.
Right.
He is not a factor in what I am saying. What I am saying is solely related to my brothers.
Getting
Now,
their own.
how it gets wherever it got to go it's not on me. It's lawyers and things for that to happen, but that's not a me thing.
Yeah. So you see, there is something. There's something here. We have always known that. But getting off of that, because Joe, he closes it up and he ends it off by talking about someone that's really worth talking about. Right after asking the line of question about Eminem, and then he speaks on something and someone that he do look up to in the music, someone that is actually doing things, he states. And I don't want to give this away, but he has high praise for this person, and he feels that this is the person that deserves the honor, the praise, and all of the glory. Go ahead. God bless. Joe, play that next clip. Let's hear.
Before you get to whatever you're trying to get to,
What's your opinion of him?
love him.
Love him.
Love him.
Love him.
Okay. Obviously, he's
Yeah,
a
you can't-
major. You can't mention hip hop. You can't
tell
mention
me that
Puff.
you
Yeah.
love hip hop.
He was a teenager
And
trying
tell
to
me
make
facts.
big moves in this thing.
And he did.
Puff,
And he did.
Puff is exemplary of so much different shit. Of thriving in every role that you have to thrive in to land where he is. He was a runner. He was an A&R. Then he was an exec. He's done fashion. He did television. Then he rapped. He had the biggest rapper, lost the biggest rapper. He did R&B. He did fragrances.
Yeah, liquor.
Like, and he's still going for us to watch and implement some of that shit on our journey.
Oh, Mr. P Diddy, Puff Daddy himself. You know, it's funny because all those things that Joe mentioned about Puff Daddy, you know, and all the things that he's done, they can all be applied to Eminem also. It's just weird to me because it just seems that, okay, so Joe looks up to Puff Daddy, but not Eminem, to hear him say it. We kind of get to see the intentions of Joe at this point, but there's just a little more, just a few more seconds. Let me just play this last.
Like,
Right.
Puff 50th birthday party is full of old dope boys, gangsters, and get money niggas.
Right.
But as an artist
'Cause
who once dealt
that's
with a
where
struggle,
they
right?
come from.
As an artist that once dealt with those kind of struggles and kind of record deal bullshit, how do you feel about all the artists he left behind in the process of doing so?
Oh, I don't hold him to some unfair standard. To do that to him would be to do that to Hove, would be to do it to Steve Stout, would be to do it to L.A. Reid, fucking Kaiser, every exec, Dame Dash, every black man who has ever been an exec, I would have to hold them to that. And I can't, because at some point, the music industry standard was to just fucking artists. So that was how people were taught for a long time.
Well, there you have it, Mr. Good Old Joe. It's funny that, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but throughout this interview, Joe, for some reason, was talking in the third person. You know, Joe, he's not doing nothing until they get away from Shady. That's not what he does. That's not what it is. I'm like, no, Joe, you're right there. Please stop the third person. Well, you know what? It seemed like Joe was mad emotional for some reason, but we're just glad that he does have someone that he do look up to, and that's Mr. P Diddy himself. Like he said, P Diddy is that dude. I'd like to know what you all think about this in the comments. Do you all think that, hey, maybe there is a possibility of a Slaughterhouse reunion? Will Royce and Joel and some of the other guys, will they get away from Shady enough so that they can get with Joe? Will they make that sacrifice away from Shady just so that they can get with the podcaster and make some music? Alright, well there guys, as always, KIP, keep it positive. I'd like to know what you think in the comments, whether you love it, whether you hate it. If you enjoy the content and the channel, be sure to subscribe. Please consider, donating and supporting the channel. The Cash App is there in the comments. That would be super dope, super awesome. It truly motivates me to constantly do more, be better, and all that other good stuff. As always there guys, I'll see you all in the very next video. And don't forget, you gotta pump it out. Pump it out. Pump.